In this video, I'm going to show you how I make my abridgments.
The UJs fall for me? Stop it. Okay.
When you get your own track, the audio and stuff will be connected. You'll want to remove that by right-clicking it, hit unlink, and then delete just the audio. I'm going to pull down her video, drop it in here. This is going to be the audio that I'm using.
Damn, I wish I was swag. If only I was swag. Yo, I'm so swag right now. Oh my god. Ah!
What's going on in here is she has a scene where she gets like all possessed. I'm gonna get some frames of her just being normal and saying yo, I wish I was swag. And then she's gonna be new and be like, I'm so swag. I'm going to use this clip for when she's like, oh, I am swag. And I'm also going to put this marker over this frame. Capture 1 lips, save. Then I scroll forward 1 frame, and then there's the mouth frame. So I'm going to scroll forward some more. There's a partial. So, capture 1 partial. Okay, and then it saves. And we go back to the open mouth. Hit that button. Capture 1 mouth. Okay, and now that's saved. Down here, you have some shortcuts, I assume. You would go to export frame. If you hold down Control, Shift, and E all together, then it'll export the frame as well. You're gonna want to make sure the import into project is clicked. Now, this is right now the path. It's going to save it to where I was last editing. So I'm gonna go to Browse, Desktop, and go resave it to my folder. Let's see, where is it? Abridged tutorial is located right here. And I would go inside another folder and save it there, a folder that I usually title screen captures, because you're gonna get a lot of them. Now for the name, I'm gonna order it by doing the character's name, Katra, and then which number. Like, you're gonna have multiple frames. You're gonna want a mouth closed, which I usually call the lip frames, and then mouth open, and teeth or partial. Katra 1, that's the number of clips of all the separate or groups of it. Everything with 1 will be of this base frame. It'll just be different mouth shapes. Capture 1 lips, save. I'm gonna go over here, take the lips, and that is the base. That goes in the video 1 file. Going to put the audio underneath it. So I'm gonna shorten it back down up to here. There, it's going to stop right there. It's going to change. The waveform, let me increase the size of that for you. The waveform, you can see it rising and falling. You're going to take the open mouth and make it so that it is above where the audio starts. And you're gonna select it. And because you see Katra between the frames, she has a different position. Her eyes move, her shoulders move, her ears, everything. Everything moves. So in order to prevent that from going on, we go over to, you gotta select the mouth frame, and then we gotta mask it. Over in Adobe Premiere, it's underneath the Effects Control tab. And if that's not open, you can go up into Sequence, no, not Sequence, down here, it's under here. Where's Effects Controls? It's right here. So I'm gonna select Capture Mouth Frame, go into the Effects Controls, and select the Create 4-Point Polygon Mask underneath the Opacity tab. It's a drop down. Select that, and then drag the 4 points. The frame that is Katra's mouth, only things that are in this box are gonna show. Everything else you see surrounding it, that's in the lip frame, that's underneath it. That's the base frame. Now we gotta scroll back and forth between the frames to see if we need to move it. So the mouth is a little low, so we gotta double click on the mouth and move it up so it's covering the lip frame. I'm just gonna move it up just a little bit more. Now that that's in place, holding Alt while you use the scroll wheel will let you zoom in and out on the timeline. This is the biggest time saver out of all the abridging techniques that I've used. Back to cutting it out so it matches what's being said. You see the waveform underneath this part where she says, and then after it there's a valley on the blue part. We're going to cut out of that using the C, the shortcut. We're going to make a snip at the end of this first waveform, and also at the beginning of this new one. Cut that there. Go back to V. V is the shortcuts for the select tool. We're going to click on that and hit delete, or Control X to get rid of it. So now only when sound is coming through, that's the only time the mouth's open. You're going to do that for all of it. even those little divots over here. There's a very little dip right here. You're going to want to get that too. And then deleting all those in-betweens. We'll see how this is.
Damn. I wish I was swag. If only I was swag.
It transitions between words, but the person doesn't stop talking. That's where we need the partial frame. How we just took the mouth frame and cut it out so it's just a mouth and put it over the existing lips. We're going to do exactly the same with the partial. So we're going to put that on top, except we're going to move it over one frame. And snip it down so it's only one frame size. Come over here, and we're going to zoom in with the Alt scroll. So after we get the lips cut out, we're going to put it on the end caps. Because the animations, it's not like the mouths are actually moving, it's just fooling the brain into thinking that something's moving. By going from completely closed to partially open to fully open versus like, oh, it's just closed and then it's open. That's why we only do it for one frame rather than a lot. So we're going to click that. We're going to go underneath the effects controls and create another 4-point polygon mask underneath the opacity dropdown. And we're going to surround the partially open mouth. Yes, and then we're going to select motion while still selecting it. Details. I had a friend who I was trying to teach. She was cutting things out of the higher. She put the lip frame in video 2 and had the open mouth under video 1. And was wondering why when she cut out the mouths that it was like there's a big hole in it. It's like, oh yeah, because there's nothing behind it. That's not the one you're supposed to be cutting. You could also study how other animation or businesses study by... You can study what they do by using a screen capture software and watching like a YouTube video per se. And then opening up in a video editor like this and then scrolling frame by frame to see how they do it. I noticed that the partial frame, I feel like it needs to be moved left just a little bit. So I'm going to double select it, double tap, and scoot over just a tiny bit. Rather than having to like select it and Control C, Control Copy, and then just go and Control V all day, you're going to click on it, and then you're going to hold down the Alt button. Don't let go of it throughout. Just when you start this, just hold the button down. You're going to click on it. You're not just going to, you're going to click and drag. And when you let go of it after you click and drag, then it's going to duplicate it. But if you take it and you let go of Alt before you let go of the left button on the mouse, then all it's going to do is move it. You let go of Alt after you let go of the picture. So you're going to take it and then you're going to put it on the ends so they work as end caps. They're the finishers, the end caps. We're going to put that on the ends of all of the dialogue. It still doesn't fix the thing like, oh, it continues to talk over here, but let's see where that is at right now.
Damn.
That's one word, so we don't need to worry about this.
I wish I was swag.
You can see in here, because it says multiple words, there's little divots, like reverse parabolas, in the waveform, where it transitions between words. Like here, and I think there's one right here, and also here and here. So we're going to, hold down Alt and move the frame over there. And then we're just going to make it one frame longer. Except there's one issue. We select it. You can see a little bit of the open mouth underneath the partial open mouth. So we're going to double select it, go to the mask, and make the mask just a little bit bigger so it covers that up. Then it'll be more like this.
I wish I was swag. If only I was... If only I was...
Okay, so there's 3 words over here.
If only I was...
If only I was. Actually, there's 4, but there's only 3 like pauses. So we're gonna take the in between, the partial, the transition word frame, and drag it over here, and drag it again, and drag it again.
If only I was swag.
Over here, I even got a slightly moving clip because it increases the production quality just a tad.
Yo, I'm so swag right now.
So we're going to scoot back to where her mouth opens on its own. Right there. So we're going to stop right here and select that. That's going to be Catra 2 because it's a new group of frames. Catra 2 lips. Save. And scoot forward. That's a mouth frame. And there's an even wider mouth. So this one's going to be mouth and this is going to be partial, just like the previous one. Catra 2 partial. and save. Move, scoot 1 frame forward. Catra to mouth, and save. Now I'm going to jump back to where her mouth opens. I'm going to select that because that's where I'm going to get rid of everything after this. I'll select the C tool, so it goes to the razor, snip that, V, and get rid of that. I want it to stop on this frame. This is the one that I exported, so I'm going to take that frame and plop it here. Now there's a problem. The audio starts to go before Catra's mouth opens. So we're going to move this up and this up. And right at the beginning of this purple part, this pink part, my bad, we're going to scoot it back so the beginning of the pink part lines up with the first spike of the waveform. So walk it back just a little bit. And now that it's overlapping over here, I'm going to cut it right here. And chop and delete everything that's over there.
Yo, I'm so swag right now.
I think I could do something a little better. So I'm going to select this. Speed duration, the speed's at 100%. I'm going to double it, so 200%, and move it forward.
Yo, I'm so swag right now.
Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to select both of those and move them back down. Start at the beginning, take the open mouth frame, and plop it on top. Select that underneath effects control, underneath the opacity drop down, select create a 4-point polygon mask, use it to surround the character's lips. Also, if you see, there's a weird kind of transparent border around the blocks. That is the feather. It's kind of like a fade, and because it's so tight and it's going to make the edges of Catra's mouth kind of transparent, we're going to go underneath. In the mask, there's like mask path, and there's mask feather, mask opacity, and mask expansion. Mask opacity makes it like how visible it is. As you see, it slowly fades. And mask feather, it does that, but only in the surrounding. Like this. So we're going to drop that all the way to 0, so we don't even have to worry about it, honestly. And move it around so it lines back up. Okay, I'm going to zoom in and shorten it by 1 frame so I can look. The mouth could move a little bit to the upper right, just a little bit. Now I'm going to go back and cut out all like the low areas of the waveform. Snip, 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 snip. Delete all the in-between areas.
Yo, I'm so swag right now. Oh my god. Ah!
So now we just need to go and add the partial frames. So throw that on top. Select that. Select the box. I'm going to make the mask feather guard on 0 so it's not accidentally like making the corners of her mouth transparent. And drag it over. By the way, if you're using a mouth frame from a different scene, and let's say the character's a slightly darker, a slightly lighter shade, by using the mask feather, you can make the color transition look a little bit more seamless. I've had to do that a few times. So I'm going to select motion after getting the mask properly cut out, and scoot it over the frame. It seems like I don't have the problem of the open mouth frame being visible underneath the partial frame, so that's good. Versus with the Catra 1 group. Now I'm going to zoom in, cut it down so it's only 1 frame. And start putting them on the edges of the existing bits. Now we just need to fill in the transitions between words. So we're going to take this and put it right here, in that little valley. There's another one right here. And I think there's another one right here.
Right now.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay. So we're going to move that over those spots.
Ah!
Let's see how that looks.
Yo, I'm so swag right now. Oh my god. Ah!
Okay, I think I don't need this one. So I'm going to delete that and watch it again.
Oh my god. Ah!
And that's basically how I do. And what I did for here, you can use this technique for the transition scenes where after this, you could have it bounce to a different character, or you could have the characters being an overshot, a top-down view of the room, and they're like walking away. Whatever the original animators have supplied to you, that is your toolbox. But that's just how you re-break down the frame, so you can add whatever dialogue you'd like. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you. And peace.